this is where it all starts. It's with a sharp pencil and a pad. Hi, welcome to the shop. You can see I've sharpened my pencil and I'm ready for this new little project. I think I've told you guys before that one of the reasons that I do the videos comes about as new projects come in. I don't try to find projects to present to you. It's just that I kind of show you my everyday life and what's a part of it. So this video that I'm doing now, you can see the stars up front, is about making a box to display this flag. Now this isn't something that I usually do. I've never made one before. I've made several urns, wooden urns, for friends, family, my mother, and I've posted videos about them, and you can go through my videos and find those. But this is the first one of these boxes that I've made, and I take it very seriously because this is in memory of my cousin Bob. Now, Bob was married to my cousin, my first cousin, but Bob was a family member, and I consider him my cousin. He passed away many years after being in the Navy and fighting in Vietnam, and he had a hard time the last few years dealing with his health issues from that war. So this is the flag that the mortuary sent my cousin, his wife, and I want to make this in time for his memorial that's coming up. It's important to me that she have a nice container for this flag. And I'm going to have to probably look up on the internet whether or not they take it out of this plastic bag. I'm assuming you do. I'm going to aim towards that. But I want to make sure that the box is all ready for this flag to take it. And I have to design the box. And I'm sure I could go online and see others, but I basically know what I want. And so I'm going to draw it out after I take some measurements. And I think that's probably the most important thing. And I'm going to take them with this plastic piece on it because I don't want to get this flag dirty in the shop. And then I will shrink it in a little bit to compensate. And I hope you'll join me on this little venture. And I'll show you a little bit each time as I progress. I'm going to measure it out, and then I'm going to see what the whole amount is needed in length to go around it, and then hit the wood room back there and see if I can find a piece of walnut or mahogany that's suitable for it. They want a darker wood, so those are the two that I probably have the most of and I happen to love. So stay tuned. Talk to you later. So here's an interesting plank I found in the wood closet. Let's see what we got here. 14 by 19 this way. And look at the grain on this. This is amazing. It's a huge limb. I suspect it's cherry, but I don't know. And but here's the knot, and then here are all these rings coming out to here. So this came through this way, and some planing has to be done. But let's see what kind of wood it is, and I'll do that with some mineral spirits. That's some nice rich color. So the first thing I want to do with this board is to rip it into thirds, and thereby hopefully get the thickest, the widest pieces I can out of it. Then I'll trim them in individually, but then I can flatten out each plank. I know that this part here, this has already been cut out, but this part here is big enough to get me one of the legs of the triangle, and then the rest is all long enough that I can get the base of it and the other arm. So let's see what we have here. We have 14, and we want to divide that in 3 even spaces. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take it and do 0 to 21, and that way I can just do 7, 7, 14, and now when I pull those lines, those will be equal distance apart. Not a lot of math. Interesting. Does not look like cherry. So I drew across here the 21, which is easily divisible by 3, and I put these marks, and then I came in here and I just measured to the mark, and it shows 4 5/8. But I need to compensate for the thickness of the blade going through, so I'm going to have to reduce it down from 4 5/8. Let's say just over the 4 1/2 mark, and we'll rip on through it. Now we have 3 planks, all the same width, and that little bit of waste. So that's not terrible. What an interesting drawing. So, from the video I saw, this is supposed to be 90 degrees, but in laying it out, it doesn't seem to be, but I think I can compensate by compressing it a little bit and sticking to the 45 degree or 90 degree at the top, which means a 45 degree cut. So, to make sure that everything works, that's where I'm going to start, is with these 2 ends, and just going ahead and cutting them. Put my smooth side out so I can get it right. And so that's where we're going to start, is with the 45 degree cuts to get this to be 90, and then we'll go from there on what this length needs to be. Considering how these 2 pieces are going to intersect, I've decided not to do this long, very elongated angle, mitering the 2 together. Instead, what I've chosen to do is to do this joint, which will give me, this is the bottom piece here, and it will fit inside there. This won't show because it'll be end grain, but it's down to the table, and there'll be some sort of base But I like this joint, and it means that I can actually pin it somehow through here. Or I have to work that out, but this is what I've chosen now. So I'm going to fit these together and get the other angle cut. We'll see how it goes. So using these clamps here, these are really great little clamps. I clamped those to the board, and that way I was able to cross here and get this joint nice and tight temporarily while I fit this board in here. And you can see that it's just a hair long, so I just have to trim this back until it fits in nice and snugly like that, and then we'll be off and running. So on that front edge, we have some pieces in here that need to come out, so we're just going to dress this face to get this out. And using a number 6 because I really want to keep it nice and straight. So this plane will do good at that. And that is all of that scar gone. So I'll back this off just a little, just to give sort of a light cleaning cut. A little bit more. And now we're getting a nice end there. So that's good. This was just to protect the face of it. We'll fit it back in. Looks like it'll be good. So we have a similar issue with a little area in here, so we'll take this one down as well. Much better. The tear out there we got to get rid of. I left the boards good and wide so we had room to deal with things like this, because the oak definitely has some raised grain in there. That's looking pretty good. Try this one out. And the same thing with this one. Thing about this squirrely grain is it changes directions in places, but this is doing a nice job of it, cleaning it up. I think that will do it. So in planing each one of these, I have to make sure that when they come together, they're flush at the top. So as you're planing them, you want to keep checking that to make sure each one is correct, so you don't get too far out of whack. But we do have some height still, so we're going to reduce the width of this next. I'm going to place this in here with this board going across, and that's to determine how much space I have in height, because I have to put in a groove for the glass and a rebate in the back for the back panel. So I want to see what's left here for me to take off, because this is larger than I need it to be. So inch and 3/4 there. So then I need 1 3/4 inches. That's not necessary, but I'm going to drop that glass in at, I think, 3/8 of an inch in, and 3/8 inch plus 1/8 inch glass then is a 1/2 inch. So I know that a 1/2 inch of the 1 3/4 is necessary. I can take 1 inch off the back, do the rebate, do the piece for the glass, and this flag will fit. So that's where we are now. So I'm going to use this tool here to set the table saw blade height. So I set this to a 1/4 inch, and that relates to this distance here. And then all I have to do is to set it on the table saw and turn the blade up and down till I get it where I like. That looks good. And now we're set to run the grooves. Now we're done. We've got the groove for the glass here, and we've got the rebate for the panel that goes on in the back. So here I'm starting the framing square, and I've marked from the corner of my glass right up the center, and that'll give me that height. Then I can come across and alternate and do the piece that I have to cut. So now, after it's stained, I am doing a back sanding on it to smooth out any little discrepancies. And then I'll give it one more coat of stain sealer and let it dry overnight. And then we'll put some finish on it. So I'll let this sit here overnight. I lightly sanded it, steel wooled it, and then I put some more of the hand rubbed oil finish on it, and just have to let her dry and repeat tomorrow. I'm sealing this edge here with wax. I don't want to put glue in there because there may be a time that they want to take this flag out. I don't know why, but I'd rather not presume that they're never going to do that. So I'm sealing the edges so no moths or anything can get in. And not using glue, as I said, because I think that would be too permanent. But we'll see how it goes. I think that's going to work out pretty nicely. So I've put these little felt stick-on feet down here so she can put it on a table if she wants, and not worry about scratching the table. And here's the finished piece, and it just needs to be waxed around the outside, but I think she should be happy with it. And the back has his name on it, and so just let everything dry and it'll be ready to go to the memorial service. So here it is, another project under the belt. I'm glad you guys came and watched the video, and it's always nice to have you in the shop with me. Gives me a feeling of kinship, I guess. And I hope until I see you again, or you see me, you guys will take care of yourselves, your friends, and your loved ones. And until then, have some fun. Talk to you later. Bye.